Hi girls, so this video I should say is about congruent triangle proofs. And this is just going to be an introduction rather than explaining why anything works. So the word congruent means exactly the same, or alternately identical. So what we're doing is we're stating that two triangles are exactly the same in every single way using a limited amount of information. So here's our first example. So we've got two triangles, and what we know about them, based on looking at it, is that the three sides are exactly the same length, right? And based on that, we can say that these triangles are identical. And so what we write is we can write that triangle ABC is exactly congruent to triangle DEF. And I want you to notice that I labelled these in the same order, A, B, C. Alright, I went across the 1, across the 2, across the 3. D, E, F, across the 1, across the 2, across the 3. And the reason is SSS, which stands for side, side, side. So I know that the three side lengths are the same. And the usefulness of this is basically it tells me that just because the sides are the same means also that the angles are the same. So these two green angles must be identical because they're in exactly the same position in congruent triangles. So if I knew one of them and I wanted to know the one in the other triangle, I automatically know that they're the same. Right? So that's the first case. So here's the second case. So in this case, I've got two triangles, and again I'll call them A, B, C, and then D, E, F. Pay attention to the way I labelled that. Think about the order of the alphabet when you do it. And these two triangles we say are also congruent, and the reason is SAS, which you can probably guess what that stands for. So the two S's stand for side. The A stands for angle. Now, the thing to be careful of with this particular case is notice that I put the A in the middle. Right? And for this particular type, it must be the included angle. It can't be one of the other two. And that's something that we'll play around with later, but for the first lesson we're just going to kind of do easy proofs. Okay? And when I say included angle, I mean when I highlight the two sides that I know, notice that the angle is the one formed by those two sides in both cases. Okay? So that's the second case, side, angle, side. Here's the third case. So this one is again ABC. Oops. And DEF. And this one is AAS, where again, obviously, hopefully, the A stands for angle and the S stands for side. Okay? It doesn't actually matter where the angle is in relation to the side. Okay? So I could instead, if I didn't know, let's pretend I didn't know this was equal, right? But I did know that this other side over here was equal, right? That would be also congruent. So that's the one case. Sorry, I should say that differently. So SAS, two sides, one angle. The angle must be in the middle. Two angles, one side. It doesn't actually matter where the angles on the side are in relation to one another. And there's a reason for that, and I'm going to put a quiz in to see if you can guess or work out the reason why only knowing two angles is enough. And now here's the last case. So the last case in this instance is RHS, right? Right angle. Oops, what's going on? Hypotenuse. And then a side. Okay, this one is related to, but not the same as, SAS, because I know two sides and I know an angle. The difference is that the angle is a right angle, and that means I don't need the included angle. And I'd like you to think about, again, why that might be. Okay, the last thing I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go to page 63 of your textbook, and I'd like you to copy, hopefully you've copied notes from everything I've done so far, but I'd like you to copy worked example 1 into your workbooks, okay? I want you to copy it exactly, except no abbreviations. Okay, no abbreviations. You'll notice that they write Alt and then they use the angle symbol. That is the one place where there's an abbreviation you're not allowed to use. Same with vert op angle symbol, right? Write vertically opposite angles, write alternate angles. Look at the Queenwood geometry standard and use that information, okay? You might like to look at worked example 2, but I don't need you to copy that one down, okay? But make sure you have a look at it. And then tomorrow's lesson, you'll clarify anything you had, and we'll do some practice. Thanks, girls.